Terry Dick.
Well, before my baby dumped him, my life was a living hell. The thought of her being boned by a bleached out infidel. My baby done dumped that bastard. My baby done dumped him. And her daddy's so happy he could die. Yeah, I know I'm already dead. But let me tell you something, son. Death just got a lot easier to take. Lisa Marie, as I'm sure you know by now, has ditched that monkey spanking, fanny obsessed, bleached out, gender bent, squeaking, freaking, mouse nosed abnormality she had the gall to go and marry. There is a God, man. Michael Jackson, what the hell was she ever thinking about, Hoss? Well, she don't need nothing. She's the sole heir to my money, $100 million, yet she hooks up with a flit driving a pink Cadillac on the freeway of love, throwing bonbons at Boy Scouts. How does that help the memory of the king of rock and roll, huh? Well, I mean, who's next? That thing that used to be Prince or Julio or Robert Reich or something? Where the hell did me and her mama go wrong? Makes you wonder, don't it? Now, you don't really suppose that they ever, ever actually, oh, my Lord, son, I can't take the thought. I wrote a little tune about it, though, and it goes like this. Well, you can shake her hand, give her a peck, even go so far as to nibble on the neck. But please stop there. It makes me sick thinking about my baby and Michael Jackson's. Hey, while I'm on that general subject, how's that old boy doing who you voted for president? Bubba Clinton.
Well,
had a rough ride the past couple weeks, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Just got the polls turned around for him a little bit, and then Hillary jumps up to bite him. And then that Paula Corbin Jones jumps up and bites him. I think I just committed one of them fox balls, didn't I? What I meant to say was that Paula jumped up and bit him in the strictly figurative sense, you see.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, with the way Hillary's blowing his whole... well, damn it. With the way she's wrecking everything along with Paula, can you imagine a Clinton's bedroom these days? Cold enough to flash freeze Walt Disney, son. Steam coming out of her ears and her glaring at him, and him leaving little let's make up notes around for her with Vince Foster's 38 laying on top of him. Go, baby. I wrote a little tune about it to back on out of here on Hoss. Goes something like this. Well, they found them bills. Bubba got the chills. They're all Rose Law and the whole thing's hills. Time to fess up. Time to be a man. Time to tell McClarty to call the moving van. Yeah, one term presidency. I guess we could call it a Madison guarantee. Thank you very much.
32 after the hour. Here's E down in Waco. All right, baby.
Lord Almighty, ain't that a little surprising? ATS got a tank coming through the front door. Looks like the end of the Davidian philosophizing. Yeah. And after 51 days, I guess they just couldn't take anymore. And now the situation is dire. We're surrounded by barbed wire. Should have surrendered to the FBI. A burning nuts. All right. I never should have come here to Waco. I should have stayed back in Tulsa and joined the family of man. Yeah. We must be on TV. I think I just saw Charlie J. go. Yeah. Smile for the camera, everybody. We're on CNN. And I can tell from the way he perspired that this Dave Koresh is a liar. And he ain't no damn Messiah. He's a burning nut. Burning nuts. 25 wives, that Koresh, he was some Valentino. I guess the women just love that weird vacant look in his eye. Yeah. But get out your zippos, cause I think that I hear Janet Reno. Yeah. Let's all bend over and kiss our own asses goodbye. I can hear that heavenly choir as we ignite our funeral fire. Let's set ourselves on fire. A burning nut. A burning nut. We're just a bunker full of burning nuts. A bunker full of burning nuts. A bunker full of burning nuts. A bunker full of burning nuts.
Elvis would have been 63 today. Wonder how he'd look. 63, he just wasn't going to make it. There wasn't the potential, did not exist.
No way he was
For
going
E to make it to,
Yeah.
you know, there was a great movie that Dietl and I saw the other night called Elvis and Nixon.
Yeah.
kind of done like a documentary thing with Dick Cavett narrating it.
Mm-hmm.
Graham Parsons was on it, and the goof Wayne Newton. But it was one. Remember when Elvis went to the White House wanted to be made a FBI or drug enforcement agent?
Something like that. Yeah.
Went to see Nixon. That was actually it was pretty cute. I don't know if I like Cavett's attitude about Elvis, but Cavett has
A little snippy?
elitist attitude.
Oh, well, okay.
Little East Hampton.
Oh, all right. So, yeah. Elvis was quaint.
Yeah, that kind of thing. 25 till the hour, yeah. That's the greatest thing he ever did. Sing your song, son.
You know I can't be found sitting home all alone. If you can't come around, at least please tell the phone. Don't be cruel. Too hard is true. Baby, if I made a man for something I might have said, please forget my past. The future looks bright ahead. Don't be cruel. Too hard is true. I don't want no other love, baby. It's just you.
Pick it up.
Imus in the morning. In the morning, 2020 sports with Mark Brain. 9 seconds. Phillips on the dribble. Everyone get another feeder at MCI. Phillips now. To Barrows. He shoots a three. It's off the mark. Rebound Howard with 1 second left. The clock expires and the Wizards extend with victory.
Boston falls short in Washington. Good morning, Mike Breen with sports. Dave Johnson to call, WWRC in Washington, where the Wizards do it again at home, nearly unbeatable at their new arena as they held off the Celtics 110-108. That's not the only exciting finish in the NBA last night. Another one at Madison Square Garden.
Dowd got the screen, spins inside, down the lane, hung in the air. The glass, and it's in with 6.3 to go. How about New Jersey?
Plus, he was fouled and it wasn't called.
Knicks beating the New Jersey Nets in overtime. Gus Johnson and Hall of Famer Walt Clyde Frazier with the call. Larry Johnson of the Knicks said it was a special night for his team.
This is the first time I've seen our team come together as much as we did tonight.
Sounds exciting.
Oh, shut up. I mean, that's just disgraceful. Hey, Cricky's on the phone. Don?
Yes, sir.
Who was the backup quarterback to Jim Kelly up in Buffalo? Ed Rakowski or something like that?
Well, actually, it was Frank Reich, the guy that brought him back in those games, like against Houston.
Yeah, but there was another guy. Ed something.
Well, Eddie Rakowski was a quarterback years ago. He's
Yeah,
talent.
that's the guy I mean.
Yeah.
I ran into him in Buffalo.
Oh, did you?
He's now the director of the parks for New York State for the Western Division.
Yeah, I know Eddie real well.
He's a great guy.
Yeah. He's an attractive man.
Yeah, he's a good-looking guy, isn't he?
What were you doing in Buffalo?
I was actually up at Niagara Falls taking photographs for the New York State of the falls.
My man. Man. I just heard that commercial before you went to Mike about speed reading,
Yeah,
polishing off a novel on your lunch break.
yeah.
I'd rather have a hamburger.
Can you hang on a minute?
Enjoy, buddy.
Mike Green continues.
Another exciting night in Miami where the Heat undressed the Bulls by 27. Miami 99, Chicago 72. How did the great Michael Jordan deal with the devastating loss?
You just have to grin and bear it.
Whoa, Jordan a little apathetic. The reason? Air Hog says he's accepting that this is not the Bulls' year.
Well, I don't think we're going to win a championship.
Sadly, the dynasty is ending for Michael Jordan of the Bulls. At least they realize it before they head into the playoffs in May.
Quite a revelation, Mike.
Tennis news, Australian Open tennis. It begins on Monday. No Monica Seles. She's withdrawn. Why? Personal reasons. That's it. She's not saying what they are, but we can certainly only speculate. Perhaps she's a little bit sore, if you know what I mean, man.
Maybe she's having her period.
Oh, that's
Hey,
another possibility.
yeah.
We can never tell.
Well, I mean, what's wrong with you?
But we'll certainly miss her.
Oh, yeah, we will.
Those grunts, that
Yeah.
pot belly.
Kind of the Nate Newton of... Come on.
And also baseball, it appears Darryl Strawberry will re-sign with the New York Yankees today. Strawberry.
Who's that fat hog who plays for Green Bay, weighs 400 pounds?
Gilbert Brown?
Yeah, the Gilbert Brown of the women's tennis. Jesus, what a fat pig, Gilbert Brown. God. Saying he weighs 340, he weighs 400 pounds, he weighs an ounce.
Absolutely.
Man, what is he talking about?
That's sports. I'm Mike Breen.
Don Cricky calls football games for NBC Sports, and I get to hear him during the football season because I have that direct TV satellite thing.
Football package.
And I have the football package, and so
Beautiful.
nobody better calling a game than Cricky, making it sound exciting.
Yep.
My man.
How are you?
Very good, among the other places you're very big, I might tell you, is the state of California. You're the man in California. You've got about 20 stations out there.
Yeah, well, I don't think we're the man in L.A. yet, but we're working on it.
But I also see on MSNBC, and you look darn good, my friend.
Thank you, Don.
10 years ago or so, in your cocktail days,
Yes.
you look like a talent scout for a cemetery. But I heard Chuck, he was talking about, about Paula Jones and the president meeting face-to-face at the White House.
Yeah.
That's probably better than the other way they met. Speaking to the microphone, I'm
Yeah, get a little risque, aren't you, Don?
But
Deirdre and I want to thank you and Molly for the lovely, whatever you sent us this year. I think you sent us a duck dish or something. I bet you don't even know, do you?
I have no idea.
Yeah, of course not. Molly just orders the stuff, fires it out.
That's it.
Yeah.
But I was at Micah Ruzioni the other day at one of these things I speak at around the country when I speak to the people.
Are these paid engagements, Don?
On the odd occasion, I do accept a modest honorarium to help to pay expenses.
Well, of course, sure.
But anyway, Ruzioni was saying he was the captain of the gold medal team back in 1980 that won the Olympic medal.
I remember that.
The Miracle on Ice.
Yeah.
He said, they're just a good bunch of college players. Nobody knew. He said he really realized what they achieved was pretty big when the first person to call him in the locker room at Lake Placid was the President of the United States, Jimmy Carter.
Yeah.
He said, he never called me before. Said, I haven't heard from him since. But I want to ask you about something that doesn't make sense, Imus.
Yeah.
And we both love the NYPD.
Yes, we do.
New York Police Department.
Sure.
But how about cops on horseback? I mean, is that an effective deterrent to crime?
I don't know.
You have drug dealers spinning around the park in turbocharged Corvettes. This doesn't work.
Oh.
And as I was saying earlier, Imus,
That was it? That?
Wait.
no, about Mike Tyson you were talking about.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
You read that, Charles had it on the
Don,
news.
you're not drinking, are you?
The judge ruled, Imus, that he had to pay Mitch Blood Green $45,000 for punching Green in the mouth.
Yeah.
What you didn't know, that later Tyson offered Mitch Blood Green another $45,000 if he could punch him in the mouth again.
Oh, Bernard. Don Cricky, obviously drunk here on the Imus Morning Program.
The bars are all closed. It's 4 in the morning. I must have shut 'em all down by the shape that I'm in. I lay my head on the wheel and the horn begins honking. The whole neighborhood knows that I'm home drunk again. If drinking don't kill me, her memory will. I can't hold out much longer the way that I feel. With the blood from my body, I could start my own steel. But if drinking don't kill me, her memory will. Imus in the morning.
Here a while back. And I've changed my mind. So here now on the Imus Morning Program, Rush Limbaugh. Good morning, Rush.
Like the mythical phoenix rising out of the ashes to soar once again amongst the red-blooded American eagles, it is I, Rush Limbaugh, erstwhile AWOL from IMUS, but now the prodigiously plump prodigal son is back. It was a painful revelation for me when I realized that mere moments after Don Imus had decreed on the Charlie Rose program I was over, I became utterly useless, and having thus been denied access to the real cash-paid airwaves he once provided, I literally faded back into the myriad canine-sensitive frequencies relegated to my own syndicated program. I mean, I was so far off the scope, I couldn't even get a decent seat at a Bunt meeting. But now, due to the I-Man's random act of senseless kindness, the right-wing Rabelais has returned. But enough chest beating. Back to the browbeating. Although I don't mind telling you, I am experiencing some slight trepidation. It's been so long since I've had the ear of those who can read without moving their lips that I may be a bit rusty, which only says to me that it's time for a tour of the tabloid tear sheets. Diddly, 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 diddly. Marion Barry says here that despite Congress stripping him of the majority of his mayoral powers, effectively reducing him to a role akin to casino greeter of our nation's capital, he believes if he ran for an unprecedented fifth term, he would win re-election. Well, I think it's safe to say that Homie be back sucking on that glass pipe. Here's an entertainment note. Paul Simon having troubles with his Broadway musical The Cape Man. Not the least of which I'd say is that it's an ill-conceived, morally bankrupt exaltation of a 1950s Puerto Rican murderer. All Ryman has enlisted the aid of famed white-way directing legend Jerry Sachs to help repair what is reported to be the show's slow staging. Well, doesn't sound to me like it'd be too hard to fix. It's a musical about Puerto Ricans. All Jerry needs to do is add a few cockfights. And speaking of cockfights, and by that I don't mean the Paula Jones case, yet do mean Clinton, a report here that there was apparently some friction and unpleasantness between new Clinton canine Buddy and the first feline Socks, which, if you think about it, effectively means the dog's the only Clinton presently living in the White House who's not fond of pussies.
Is that a lesbian joke, Rush?
Could be. Coming up, a chance to win an all-expense-paid trip to Paraguay to visit the exiled Aryan kinfolk. More after this.
Rush Limbaugh, back here on the Imus Morning program. It is coming up on 4 minutes till the top of the hour. And poor old David Brinkley getting hammered yesterday viciously by Maureen Dowd.
I have to be quiet because I'm at work and I don't want to get busted.
What do you do for a living?
How many times do I have to tell you? I mean, I told you I work in a home care agency.
Oh, okay.
You know, there's something wrong with you.
Well, I mean, I just really...
Shut up. I have something to say to Mr. McCord.
I talk to thousands of people.
Shut up.
Yeah, I forgot. I didn't remember talking to you, baby.
Man, shut up.
What is it?
Chucky,
Yes, ma'am.
welcome back.
Thank you.
Great.
I am so glad you're back.
Why are you happy he's back?
Because Mr. Parchment Paper Face carried on so bad yesterday.
Yes.
He missed you so much. It was pathetic.
Really?
He was sad. He looked like somebody on crack roaming around that.
Why don't you take care of them old people? They're instead of calling up and hassling me.
Shut up, man.
Be telling me to shut up.
You know I love you.
Did they get a bowl of mush out there and go down the hall and feed somebody? Cut one of them checks for one of them old people.
Be still. Be still.
Aren't you supposed to be helping out old people?
Listen, someone else does that. I gotta send these fools to these old people.
Oh, I see.
That's wonderful.
This is just, man, I know what I have to look forward to now. Somebody in an agency like you. Deirdre's on the phone, called him, said, could you send somebody to take care of this old bastard? I gotta go out.
Homie the clown wheeling you around.
Don't let me be the one to send you somebody.
That'd be great. Homie the clown, that's right.
Yeah.
Homie the clown, wheeling around, whapping on the hands.
That's right.
Type mistake.
I told you not to after 6.
Oh, happy. Charles, welcome back.
Thank you very much,
I
man.
missed you too.
Go back to work.
Shut up.
You shut up.
You shut up.
Yeah. Shut up, you shut up.
Oh, my God. That's great. Season Josh taking care of these poor old people.
That's the woman.
Send these fools out.
When you call, she's a dispatcher. When you call the agency to get somebody to come over to take care of your mama, who's 87 years old.
Yeah.
Cecile is sending somebody like that nurse they just put away for killing all these
She's the lady who decides who goes.
Yeah.
Some crip with an attitude.
Oh, man.
What a country.
Going over there and jacking up some poor old fool. Jesus, God almighty. What a night
Going through your parents' drawers. Valuables. With you over the corner locked in your wheelchair.
Shut up, man! got the wheelchair, got your turned face in the corner.
Right.
It's just like you're back in grammar school.
Got the brakes on that wheels, man. Got that locked down.
Rifling through your stuff there.
You can't do nothing.
Oh, God almighty.
Doesn't it smell like a pool of urine? So you have to look forward to it.
Oh, man, that's going to be great, isn't it?
They're watching Soul Train. They're watching Moesha. And you're like choking on your spittle with an oxygen bottle hanging off the back of your chair. Those two little tubes in your nose. Go Moesha!
All right, it's 27 till the hour. Here on the revamped Imus in the Morning program. And in a final suck-free hour. Yeah. What else going on, Charles?
The president is opposing plans by a Chicago...
And now, Imus in the Morning 2020 Sports. Here's Mark Breen.
Now Morning and Rodman start to go at each other a little bit, but Rodman walks away, and Phil is out screaming at Eddie F. Rush, and he is hot. Now Phil's been thrown out. Phil is beside himself.
Jackson and the Bulls get tossed around in Miami. Good morning, Mike Breen with sports. Neil Funk the call. WMVP in Chicago. Bulls lose by 27 points to the Heat in Miami. What more could you want? How upset was Coach Phil Jackson, who absolutely hates Pat Riley as much as Riley hates Jackson. And there he was, his team getting pummeled. So what does he do? He bails out, gets ejected on purpose, no doubt, so he didn't have to see Riley prance around in a victorious mode last night at Miami Arena. Of course, Phil then complained about the refs. One of them was the female ref, Violet Palmer, one of the officials for last night's game, who said Jackson called her an ugly name during the game.
He called me a bitch.
Jackson so distraught about losing to Riley that he got carried away.
Disgraceful.
It wasn't Palmer that ejected him. It was one of the male referees who he called a bitch as well.
Yeah. Pick it up here.
But the Heat still with an impressive ass whooping last night.
What kind of language is this? Ass whooping? What are you, nuts?
I'm on the edge.
Boy, no kid. I don't hear you do that on NBC when you call in these football games.
Say it all the time.
You know, they're taking a real ass whooping here. I don't hear that kind of language.
Never.
But the show is on the cutting edge.
Yeah.
Heat Center
That's right, I forgot.
Heat Center Alonzo Mourning.
It's edgy.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. It's a hip morning show.
Yeah, we say bitch on this show.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Alonzo Mourning was pretty psyched up.
I'm not satisfied. My teammates aren't satisfied, you know. We're going to see this team again. I'm definitely not satisfied, you know, because until we beat them.
Oh, I think we can sort of get the point here. Let's not turn this into a Rodney King episode, baby.
So says we are bad. And the Heat were bad last night. Yes, sir. Also last night, Celtics fall short to the Wizards in Washington, and the Nuggets lose again. Denver's now dropped 15 straight. This one to the Spurs in San Antonio. Spurs guard Avery Johnson said they were sluggish because they were looking ahead to the Suns game. Avery knows that Suns are a very good team.
They're really deep. You know, I know they're injured a little bit. I know KJ is not playing right now. But when you look at their front line, Cliff Robinson, Danny Manning, John Williams, McLeod is not even playing as much, Sabalos. They're really deep. And, you know, Jason Kidd is really playing some good basketball.
I love this guy.
He is just the best.
He is such a natural to become an analyst.
Yep.
It's frightening.
Yep.
Isn't he? Sabalos. I'd put him on TV tonight.
Sure.
Get that idiot Bill Walton out of there.
Ugh, man. It's terrible.
Unbelievable! Look at that! They got 6 guys on the court. Oh my! I can't do that.
Walton.
Terrible! Terrible!
Smoke another
How
joint.
can he shoot 60%? He's an NBA player. Simply awful. Clear they're in his own defense. Look at that.
Lou Ruffino as Bill Walton. Mike Breen continues.
I gotta come on here.
1998 PGA Tour is underway starting today. First round of the Mercedes Championships in Carlsbad, California. Tiger Woods begins yet another year on the tour, and we look forward to watching and hearing from Tiger. He won this event last year.
Yeah.
And says he's ready to win it this year.
If there's a God in heaven,
He's the man.
he will not make the cut. Man, what an annoying little dork.
He'll get a case of the yips
Well,
season long.
absolutely, man. He looked like me out there playing that 600-yard par 5, won't he?
I don't bring that up.
You'll bring one up.
That whole
debacle.
Yeah, really.
What's the debacle?
It's humiliating for us.
Yeah, it was. I shot an 8 on a par 5, 600-yard hole,
Well,
and it should have been a 7.
No, don't start with
Tap
the
in.
7.
Should have been a 6.
It's a tap in 8.
Tap in 8.
Goes to
Fine.
show.
I had a shot at a 6. I had a shot at a bogey 1 there.
Absolutely.
What
What
happened?
do you call it, bogey 1 or just bogey?
This bogey.
I had a shot at a bogey on that hole.
Talking about.
That fat Bob Gelb, who was my caddy, got so he was already. Everybody was dumbfounded that I had managed to get on the green in 5, and comfortably on the green in 5 with a makeable putt, by the way.
You would have had a 15 if you didn't hit the woman in the head.
That's not true. That's absolutely not true. I hit that ball. I teed off with a 5-wood. No, a 3-wood. 5-wood. No, 5-wood. Then I played a 5-iron.
No, 3-iron.
Did I play a 5-wood or a 3-wood?
I don't know what you played.
I think I played a 5-wood. I believe you did. Because I couldn't handle the other one.
Yeah. Right.
Anyway,
Some wood.
didn't I tee off with a 5-wood, Bobby?
5-wood, Bob?
5-wood,
Yeah,
5-wood and 4 5-irons.
Right.
And then you hit the 80-year-old lady.
Yeah. No. The ball was going to go 3 fairways over. No, the ball was coming down when it hit the old lady.
It was going on a line
No, get out of here. I'd hit the ball 200 yards, and it came down and hit the lady in the cheek. What am I supposed to do here?
You played it off the lady.
Yeah.
That was intentional.
Right.
I mean, well, nobody thought I could hit it that far. That's why they were all standing there.
Exactly.
See, that was the problem.
Position.
Anyway. I'm ready to take up golf, though.
Why not?
I think we've got another big golf challenge coming up, don't we? Me and somebody else against Breen and Breen and I. You and I against Fatso and Fruit Loops.
On your team?
Yeah. You're a pretty good golfer, aren't you?
I'm all right.
What would you have taken on that hole that I took an 8 on?
Probably a 7.
Yeah, so I had a shot at a 7, didn't I?
I know, tap in.
Okay, I had a tap in 8. Breen and I against Fatso and Fruit Loops. We could beat them, couldn't we?
Anything could happen. This stupid little ball can go anywhere. Obviously, any wrinkle-up old retard can play golf.
Well, because the I-man's great under pressure. That's the problem.
There you go. Yeah, but it doesn't take any talent or athletic ability, clearly. It's just luck. Dumb luck.
Well, no, it's not dumb luck.
When the money is on the line.
When the pressure's on, I'm there.
Okay, we'll see
And
next
Fatso
time.
and Fruit Loops will crack under the pressure.
I remember watching you on the practice tee. A couple of balls like going 4 feet to the right.
Yeah.
We can't wait for it to start.
Yeah.
Snickering. And what happened? And then he goes out and gets money time.
When it came time to get serious, why?
Got let up or shut
I
up?
hammered it, didn't I?
And then a blind scored up.
13 out of the out.
Imus in the morning. Well, she whacked off his mule, rolled the window down and lobbed it. So don't go messing with Lorena Bobbitt. Hey, I'm King of rock and roll here, son.
Oh, hi, Elvis.
Hey, did you see that 2020 show on Friday night? Let me bottom line that one for you, Hoss.
Right.
There are worse things than a blowed out lung, like a cut off. Jesus. You talk about the War of the Roses. I watched Mrs. Bobbitt's interview, just like everybody else, but damn, made the king squirm just looking at her and knowing what she'd done.
Yeah.
Can't you just see a letter from them two to one of those "Can this marriage be saved" columns? Dear Abby, my marriage hasn't been going well lately. My wife and I argue a lot, and last night she cut off my. Should I try to patch things up? Signed, Deboned in Des Moines. I wrote a little tune about it. Goes along like this here. Well, you can knock me down, step in my face, slander my name all over the place, knock out my teeth, slam me with a brick, but honey, don't cut off my no, don't you, and so on and so forth, yada, yada, yada. I ain't worked out the whole rest of it yet, but it's getting there. It could have been worse. At least she threw it out the window of her truck, and they found the damn thing.
Yeah.
She could have put it in the blender or something. Made one of them there penis coladas, but thank the Lord she didn't. Anyway, poor old John Bobbitt sure got introduced to this here healthcare system right up close and personal, didn't he? Thank God he was in America, not up there in Canada or over in England or somewhere. Take a number, Mr. Bobbitt. There are, 27 people ahead of you. And there the poor slob is, standing there with his in a beer cooler, panicked, wondering stuff like, can I at least, have this thing bronzed or something? Hey, how about that there health care deal your buddy Bubba's hollering about?
All right.
Has it somehow escaped this bozo's attention that for all its highly publicized inadequacies, the system he and that irritant he married are trying to turn upside down provides the best medical care in the world to more than 200 million people right now?
Well.
And besides, what the heck do you and I care anyway? You're rich and I'm dead. Let's get out of here and hope that they do too, huh? Well, don't go fixing what ain't done broke. Your health care bill's gonna give me a stroke. Yeah, leave it the hell alone. Ain't no your PMS mama. What's gonna go sever my bone? Thank you, son. Thank you very much.
As unfortunately the world is now aware, Don Imus firing a 3-over, 8 on the par 5, 18th at Fiddler's Elbow. It's an 8. By the way, Francesa nearly had a heart attack trying to keep up with me.
How you doing? How you doing? We'll get an interview as soon as I catch you. How you doing?
I love Francesa.
He's the man.
Yeah.
Yep, he was sick yesterday. He was sick as a dog.
He was sick again.
He got some bad ding-dongs or something.
Your radio sounds funny in the morning. You're listening to Imus in the morning.
Well, here's the thing about the Marv Albert thing, is that listening to the details makes me sick.
And you never put on a pair of panties.
Oh, well, of course, but that doesn't have any...
did? Oh, my God.
No, you idiot.
You have worn panties?
No, I was just kidding. What do you...
Well, I don't know. One of the boys, and then you got snagged.
Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
Each year, it's estimated.
I can say without question, this is the happiest day of my professional career and tenure is to be the head football coach of the Dallas Cowboys.
Bye-bye, Barry. Switzer's out in Dallas. Good morning, Mike Brain with sports. Barry Switzer will step down as coach of the Dallas Cowboys, which of course means Jerry Jones fired him. As you heard, he was so happy the day he was named head coach. But you could tell during this past season it was all unraveling for Switzer, like these comments after one of 10 losses in '97.
Played hard. That had nothing to do with the ballgame. The reason we lost the ballgame is we couldn't tackle the damn backs, we couldn't line up right, and we made damn mistakes. That's why we lost the ballgame. It wasn't because they didn't try and didn't give an effort and bust their ass every damn play.
You knew the days were numbered when it was getting like that. Now, a weekly occurrence for Switzer. Man, almost now gone.
Prozac moment there, huh?
Really? Yeah. Cowboys, of course, not in the playoffs. They finished 6-10. The NFL postseason resumes.
Senator Bill Romanowski says there's no reason to be intimidated by the big bad Steelers.
They put their pants on the same way, and you hear that a lot. But they're going to have some big muscles going in those pants. But we have some big, we have some big muscles in our pants too. And it's just going to be a war Saturday.
Bill Romanowski. Yeah. He's the guy who spit on the other guy, right? Right. That's what
a moron.
Yeah. Well, I didn't mind that, but I mean,
Has some big muscles in their pants. What are you talking about?
he didn't mind what?
Did he spit in the guy's face?
Absolutely not.
What's wrong with
That's
you?
football. You don't spit in a guy's face.
What are you talking about?
I don't have any problem with that. Rethink this.
You're losing it.
Well, Bo, do you have any problem with that?
I don't have any problem with that at all, baby.
Here now, on the Imus Morning Program, my man, Bo Dietl. Good morning, Mr. Dietl.
Morning, Don. How you doing?
I'm fine, baby.
Yeah, we've been real busy with this investigating this South Korea.
Oh, what now?
No, good investment opportunity down there in South Korea, but we're checking all the companies out. And we may even open a satellite office down there in South Korea. There's a lot of companies that you could buy for 10 cents on the dollar, so we're checking the companies out for people who invest the money.
Why haven't you been told me, giving me any background?
Well, I'm very serious. It's a very good investment opportunity.
Why have to find out about this when everybody else does?
No. I mean, they've been coming to us, and we've been investigating. There's a lot of opportunities still there for investment. Of course, the company like kind of defunctated, and now all these companies are up for grabs, and they're good, solid companies.
Defunctated?
Yeah, but, I wanted to get serious for a second.
Sure.
I've been listening to the program. It's funny this morning, very funny. This thing with John Kennedy, the kid getting crashed, Michael Kennedy crashed into a tree, tragic, and then Sonny Boner, that was real tragic. But did you watch during the funeral? His daughter and him weren't really talking. That one Chastity, she liked woman. She was lesbian.
I know that.
But the only problem is now, do you see she's wearing a neck brace now? She went head first into a bush.
Why did you know? How did I know that's what he was going to do? That was great. I mean, how would I know?
Well, you just know by now.
Didn't know.
What? Pattern of behavior.
Well, I know that, but who the hell thinks he would do that?
Crying out loud.
Who would say that?
Bo would.
Well, I know, but I mean, head first into a bush.
Haven't you learned by now?
I don't know. I thought maybe she hurt herself. I thought she hurt herself.
Apparently she did.
Well, I guess she did, but I mean, Jesus. No, Bo. That's not what we're looking for here.
Oh, my God.
Jesus, Bo Dietl.
Poor man isn't cold yet, for crying out loud.
I understand that. I know that. They haven't even buried him yet.
Imagine if I said that. I'd be fired. I'd be out of here.
Imagine if Bernie had said that.
Yeah.
That sounds like something out of the Cardinals.
I'd be out.
Fired.
Way to go, Bo.
Head first into a bush. Jesus, God Almighty.
What are you acting surprised? Gotta love it.
Well, I don't
You
know.
knew it was coming. Absolutely.
No, I didn't.
Oh, come on.
I didn't know that was coming.
Well, you knew something.
You could feel it. Well, no, I could feel something, but yes, I knew something was coming.
Yeah, you know.
As soon as he said her name, you should know.
We should have jumped out then.
Right.
Sure,
Chastity.
no.
As soon as he said
As soon as he
chastity.
brought up the skiing, you
Yeah,
should have gotten
well,
out. Well, absolutely.
Pretty funny.
Well, certainly
Come
on
on.
chastity, you should have gotten out.
Yeah. You're living. Well, he's lulled me into a sort of a comfort zone here with him. And I figure, well, what the hell? He's not going to say the F word. He's not an idiot. So.
Good joke.
Yeah, it is pretty funny. Oh, what else going on, Brady?
My God.
North Carolina lost Dean Smith before this season, but they're not missing a beat with new head coach Bill Guthridge. Guthridge is Dean's longtime assistant. North Carolina beat Georgia Tech last night, the number one in the country, 15-0. Guthridge says experience is the key for the Tar Heels.
When you play with each other, you know those things, and that certainly helps.
Guthridge should step down and bring Dean back.
Man.
Seems a little lost there.
Just slightly.
He missed 15-0, so
Can't argue with success.
how's my man Krzyzewski doing or whatever?
He's doing fine. He's had a couple of injuries, but they're still one of the better teams in the country.
I can't pronounce his name, but I can spell it.
I know you can.
Krzyzewski.
Can you spell his name?
No.
K-R-Z-Y-E-W-S-K-I.
Coach K.
Yeah.
That's all you need to know.
I like him a lot, though.
It's impressive, I mean.
Not
only do you look like Stephen Hawking,
Boy had some back problems, but he's got the Duke Blue Devils back to number 2 now, doesn't he?
No.
They're not?
No, they're up there. They've been in the top 5 all year.
I understand that. I said, but last year they weren't.
No, but they had a good recruiting
That's
class.
what I meant. Back to number 2, you pencil neck.
Hey, don't yell at me.
Come on. You eat a bran muffin. Looking at cholesterol here. Here's Dwight from Manhattan, 1-800-370-IMES. You get caught in that bubble lock yesterday?
No, I didn't. I was out of town, thankfully.
No, I did.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, but
Fat
this
mood.
morning I got a worse problem.
What's the matter?
Well, first it was a Woodstock typewriter, and then it's Siegenthaler trying to tie him to Whitaker Chambers. Will this obsession ever end?
No, here's the thing.
Please.
I just simply couldn't remember where I had read John Siegenthaler's name. Either in the Kennedy book or the Whitaker Chambers book.
But don't you see, every new name you encounter now, you're gonna try and tie back to Whitaker Chambers.
That's a good point.
Hello, Americans. This just in to Imus in Washington. Here in our nation's capital, the news world is still aghast at the decision by one of journalism's heretofore most revered icons, David Brinkley, to sign on as a spokesman for agribusiness giant Archer Daniels Midland, the controversial conglomerate that helped sponsor Brinkley's Sunday morning TV chat show. Here by satellite with a response to critics in many quarters, Maureen Dowd, Daniel Shore, Jeff Greenfield, and others, is Mr. Brinkley himself.
First, let me say, good to be here. Glad I could come. Thanks for having me. Always happy to stop by.
Fine.
Well, just the briefest reply to Miss Dowd, Dan Shore, Jeff Greenfield, the others. I'm 77 years old. I have a wife half my age. I'm rich, getting richer. Living fat with a P. So, shove it. I think that about says it all.
But Mr. Brinkley, hasn't this compromised the reputation you so carefully guarded for all these years?
Well, first of all, you. And secondly, no. For the kind of money ADM, Supermarket of the World, is paying me, I'd flip these f***ing Harvest burgers if they wanted me to. Would you like one? I have several in my Dwayne Andreas autographed lunch pail. Tasty as heck. But what do you say?
Mr. Brinkley, thank you for helping us understand your position.
Listen, why don't you all come down to the condo and we'll fire up a bunch of these babies.
That'll be fine, David.
In other news, briefly, President Clinton says he welcomes the opportunity to face his accuser, Paul Corbett Jones, in person at the White House when he's deposed in the sexual harassment case Miss Jones has brought against him. And he's instructed his attorney, Bob Bennett, to stop opposing the session, telling him to, in the president's words, shut up and butt out. Mr. Clinton explained his rationale.
Hey, babe, you want to go out?
Waiting helicopter, honey. I'll view this whole matter as a personal challenge to my record. She won't get away this time. I can't wait to get in that room with Paula and get out of my shirt and shoes and pants and everything and get busy. Man, I just can't believe the court system has just handed me this opportunity. What a country.
Sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Sir, you actually are eager then to be deposed with Ms. Jones present?
Deposed? What do you mean, deposed? I thought they said declosed. Hillary, damn it, did you change the batteries in my dang hearing aids or not? Damn, deposed? Get Bennett on the phone.
Excuse me. Pardon. Sorry to interrupt, but I've just gotten a fresh batch of these Archer Daniels Midland soy burgers. I think you really should have a few. Maybe 100 million, now that I think about it. Interested?
No.
Did I mention they cure cancer?
No, they don't.
In Denver, Colorado, Nikki Deutschman, the controversial New Age jury forewoman in the trial of Terry Nichols, was found lying beneath a purple shroud a short time ago, asking Dionne Warwick by phone whether she thought the Hale-Bopp comet might still be in range. Ms. Warwick assured her that it was, having been aborted herself just last night. Funny, I didn't see her there.
I'm sorry to interrupt again, but I really need to move these damn things. A last call for Harvest Burgers. Did I mention they give you a boner?
No, you didn't, and they don't.
And finally at this hour, news from Seattle, Washington aircraft giant Boeing Industries, where a company spokesman says that based on recent unfortunate events, TWA Flight 800, the losses of several 737s, including Commerce Secretary Ron Brown's, and the most recent 737 accident on the island of Sumatra, Boeing is dropping the E from its corporate name. And rather than Boeing, will now be known simply as Boeing.
See? I told you so.
Well, it's not a boner, Mr. Brinkley. It's a Boeing.
Well, the damn thing's not really a burger either.
Fred Imus is here. Actually, he's in Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Why do you have Rock Newman on and he won't tell you anything? Don't have guests on that won't give us information because it's very aggravating.
Well,
stay off your show. Don't aggravate the viewers.
I understand that, but...
No, but I can't tell you how irritating it is.
I know that.
For people to come on the show and not give up any information. Just stay home. Don't pick up the telephone.
There's nothing I can do about it. Take your own advice. Yeah.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
So you've got a pair of Nikes and a purple shroud on your blow-up doll.
I woke up this morning and that's how it was. The last thing I remember that she was in bed with me last night.
Yeah.
I get up and I find the applesauce on the coffee table, and this is what I wake up to.
Now you know what it's like to sleep with a corpse.
In the morning. Sports Radio 66 WFAN.
If he hadn't passed out, we'll talk to him. And also, now there appears to be some minor controversy surrounding a couple of things Mr. Friedman has done. Why did I get so excited about that? Can you explain that to me?
Because you are a foul rodent.
A jackal.
And revel in the darkest side of any individual, agency, experience, event.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
One of the most amazing things about Netanyahu, Don, is that it's not that his opponents hate him. It's not that the press hates him. It's how many of his own allies and coalition partners hate him. Levy felt his own constituency wasn't being given their fair share of the pork that was being handing out, or to pork or whatever it is in Israel, being handed out by the Israeli parliament.
There probably wouldn't be pork, would it?
No. The matzo balls.
How about largesse?
They weren't getting their slice of the matzo ball.
In the morning. Sports Radio 66 WFAN.
Well, I have pretty good news. We're going to get to talk to Dan A. We're going to Washington, D.C. next week. Has Mark Guerin ever called us back? We need to talk to him about how the president wants to work this, whether he wants to come over to the station, or whether he wants us to come over and broadcast from, like, outside the Oval Office. So we just need to work out those details.
Yeah.
Okay. Keep him away from Dietl.
We don't want an incident.
No, we don't want an incident where he's,
Hey, you make my knees knock. Well, yes, nice buttocks, young lady.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
Hillary Rodham Clinton spent the evening on the Larry King Live program last night, fielding questions, including one about these latest sexual allegations.
Well, Larry asked her what the deal was with her hair.
Yeah.
Well,
Maybe she should get a hairstyle like Paula Jones so her husband will stay home with her.
You're right.
In the morning. Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
If you buy a
The Fan, WFAN.
Bring your skin problems to Physoderm. Roto-free Urban.
And we're back.
Guys dressed in black, remember that, just in case we ever face to face and make contact. The title held by me, MIB, means what you think you saw, you did not see. So don't blink, be what was dead is now gone. Black suit with the black Ray-Bans on, walk in shadow, move in silence, guard against extraterrestrial violence. But yo, we ain't on no government list, we straight don't exist, no names and no fingerprints. Saw something strange watching back, cause you never quite know where the MIBs is at. So the darkest of night on the horizon, bright light into sight tight, camera zoom on the impending doom. But then like boom, black suits fill the room up with the quickness, talk with the witnesses, hypnotizer, normalizer, vivid memories turn to fantasies. Ain't no MIBs, can I please? Do what we say, that's the way we kick it. Yeah, I mean, let's give a noisy cricket, get wicked on you. We your first, last, and only line of defense against the worst scum of the universe. So don't fear us, cheer us. If you ever get near us, don't jeer us with fearless MIBs, freezing up all the flag. What that stand for? Men in black, and. Let me see you just bounce it with me, just bounce with me, just bounce it with me. Come on, let me see you just slide with me, just slide with me, just slide with me. Come on, let me see you take a walk with me, just walk it with me, take a walk with me. Come on, and make your neck work. Now freeze. Tell you this in closing. I know we might seem imposing, but trust me, if we ever show in your section, believe me, it's for your own protection. Cause we see things that you need not see, and we be places that you need not be. So go with your life, forget the Roswell crap, show love to the black suit, cause that's the men in, that's the men in. Z100.
I love Z100.
Throwing Alan Aldridge with a diving pick. The Bronco defense has done it again. Oh, third interception of the day by the Denver defense on Cordell Stewart.
Slash goes crash in Pittsburgh. Good morning, Mike Greenwood Sports. Dave Logan. The call on KOA in Denver. AFC Championship game. Broncos beat the Steelers 24-21, sending John Elway now to his fourth Super Bowl. With his Steeler colleague at quarterback Cordell Stewart, rough day. Threw 3 interceptions, 2 of them in the end zone. He also lost a fumble, and Cordell was asked for his analysis of the game.
Basically say it was a loss.
Basically, he's right, and his season is over, so the Steelers will now play the Green Bay Packers in the Super Bowl. Packers beating the Niners in a game that was so non-competitive makes you wonder if the Niners had reason to play so poorly. 23-10 was the final, not even that close, a disgrace. In San Francisco, quarterback Steve Young was his usual sensitive self after the loss.
You really can't describe it. You can't describe the flood of feelings.
No, shut up. Super Bowl 32s are coming up in 2 weeks.
Oh, the flood of feelings.
The game will be in San Diego. Early line has Green Bay favored by as many as 13.5. So now get ready for 2 weeks of countless tedious stories and hype. Why can't they just play the game next week? But no, they got to drag it out for a couple of weeks.
Well, they did that one year, you remember?
Yeah.
And nobody liked it.
I liked it.
Few people liked it.
Who cares what others think? I liked it.
We want 2 weeks of hype.
Okay.
That's what we want.
You want to get up for it.
Yeah.
You want to build.
Because it'll be a hideous... Well, it probably won't be an awful game.
No, 13 and a half, I believe, is far too many points.
Yeah.
Denver's much better than that.
Yeah, they are. They have a running game now, and they have... we don't know if they can stop the run, no. But we'll get into that later with Francesa and Fred. So, wow.
Fatso and Fugly.
Fatso and Fugly, that's right.
NBA, what a game last night at Madison Square Garden. For the third straight time, the Knicks and their opponent went down to the final shot. This time, the Knicks prevailed over the best team in the NBA, beating the powerful Seattle Supersonics 92-91, ending Seattle's winning streak at 8. Knicks coach Jeff Van Gundy said his team has guts.
If we play with the courage we've been playing with, we'll be in a lot of games.
Courage is certainly one way of describing the Knicks. How about heroic? Bold, gallant, brave. There are a lot of ways. Yes, my friends, this is a group of young men who have inspired young kids all across the country, fighting on without their leader, Patrick Ewing. It'd be like Chuck, Bernie, and Lou and the rest of the staff going on without the I-Man.
You know what's most disgraceful about this? It'd be fine if Bremer were a fan, but he's the announcer. He's the TV announcer here in New York on MSN, on MSG, which is the Madison Square Garden Network, for the Knicks, and so it's just... Oh, well, it's not amusing. It's tedious, but go ahead. I know you think it's amusing, but it's just not.
I wish we could be like the Knicks and play without our leader for a while. Well, what a pleasant thought that would be.
We're going to play without one of our key people. I'd wrap this up.
I'm going to be injured?
Yes, you are.
And finally, in golf, the first PGA tournament of the year, the Mercedes Championship, Tiger Woods, so close, but he fell just one shot back as Phil Mickelson won by a stroke over Woods and Mark O'Meara. And that's sports. I'm Mike Green.
Of course, Tiger Woods is in the world rankings is the #1 golfer in the world. Well, having replaced Greg Norman, you wouldn't believe Greg Norman would be the #1 golfer in the world prior to this tournament, would you?
No.
Yeah,
Choking Greg,
was.
No. All those second-place finishes add up.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You don't have to win anything.
There you go.
Sure. All right, it's coming up on 13 till the hour, and on line 3, Bob from Chicago. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning, I'm in.
How are you?
Good.
What's up?
Got a short story for you. I don't know if you caught her.
Doctor around here.
Yep.
Good morning, Mr. Francesa.
Good morning, Don. How are you?
Who do you like on Sunday?
I think you will have a Pittsburgh Green Bay Super Bowl.
Yeah.
What does Fred think?
What do you think, Fred?
I don't agree with the sports nurse.
He needed nurse, you know that?
Oh, my God.
A sports nurse. Hey, Fred, let me do a quick commercial for you, okay? Fred's Super Bowl special. 3 chips, cup of salsa, picture of San Diego. Fred's prediction, $59.95. How about that?
Your radio sounds funny in the morning. You're listening to Imus in the morning.
Well, you realize that Barry Switzer and Bill Clinton have a lot in common. Do you know that?
No, I didn't.
Number 1, they're both from Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, they've had 4 bad years, but you got to be fair and say a couple of good days.
Yeah.
And number 3, and most importantly, they both wish they never exposed themselves to somebody named Jones.
Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
The power of rock.
Oh yeah, Imus in the morning.
Imus in Washington. Here in our nation's capital, the news world is still aghast at the decision by one of journalism's heretofore most revered icons, David Brinkley, to sign on as a spokesman for agribusiness giant Archer Daniels Midland, the controversial conglomerate that helped sponsor Brinkley's Sunday morning TV chat show. Here by satellite with a response to critics in many quarters, Lorraine Dowd, Daniel Shore, Jeff Greenfield, and others, is Mr. Brinkley himself.
First, let me say, good to be here. Glad I could come. Thanks for having me. Always happy to stop by.
Fine.
Well, just the briefest reply to Miss Dowd, Dan Shore, Jeff Greenfield, the others. I'm 77 years old. I have a wife half my age. I'm rich, getting richer, living fat with a P. So, shove it. I think that about says it all.
But Mr. Brinkley, hasn't this compromised the reputation you so carefully guarded for all these years?
Well, first of all, you. And secondly,
No. For the kind of money ADM, Supermarket to the World, is paying me, I'd flip these f***ing Harvest burgers if they wanted me to. Would you like one? I have several in my Dwayne Andreas autographed lunch pail. Tasty as heck. But what do you say?
Mr. Brinkley, thank you for helping us understand your position.
Listen, why don't you all come down to the condo and we'll fire up a bunch of these babies?
That'll be fine, David.
In other news, briefly, President Clinton says he welcomes the opportunity to face his accuser, Paula Corbett Jones, in person at the White House when he's deposed in the sexual harassment case Miss Jones has brought against him. And he's instructed his attorney, Bob Bennett, to stop opposing the session, telling him to, in the president's words, shut up and butt out. Mr. Clinton explained his rationale.
Hey, babe, you want to go out?
Wait in the helicopter, honey. I'll view this whole matter as a personal challenge to my record. She won't get away this time. I can't wait to get in that room with Paula and get out of my shirt and shoes and pants and everything and get busy. Man, I just can't believe the court system has just handed me this opportunity. What a country.
Sir.
Thank you very much.
Sir, you actually are eager then to be deposed with Ms. Jones present?
Deposed? What do you mean, deposed? I thought they said declosed. Hillary, damn it, did you change the batteries in my dang hearing aids or not? Damn, deposed? Get Bennett on the phone.
Excuse me. Pardon. Sorry to interrupt, but I've just gotten a fresh batch of these Archer Daniels Midland soy burgers. I think you really should have a few. Maybe 100 million, now that I think about it. Interested?
No.
Did I mention they cure cancer?
No, they don't.
In Denver, Colorado, Nikki Deutschman, the controversial New Age jury forewoman in the trial of Terry Nichols, was found lying beneath a purple shroud a short time ago, asking Dionne Warwick by phone whether she thought the Hale-Bopp comet might still be in range. Ms. Warwick assured her that it was, having been aborted herself just last night. Funny, I didn't see her there.
I'm sorry to interrupt again, but I really need to move these damn things. Last call for Harvest burgers. Did I mention they give you a boner?
No, you didn't, and they don't.
And finally at this hour, news from Seattle, Washington aircraft giant Boeing Industries, where a company spokesman says that based on recent unfortunate events, TWA Flight 800, the losses of several 737s, including Commerce Secretary Ron Brown's, and the most recent 737 accident on the island of Sumatra, Boeing is dropping the E from its corporate name. And rather than Boeing, will now be known simply as Boeing.
See? I told you so.
Well, it's not a boner, Mr. Brinkley. It's a boing.
Well, the damn thing's not really a burger either.
We're talking with Bernadette Castor. She's a New York State Parks Commissioner.
Yep.
Did you meet Pat O'Brien?
Yeah, I did. I said hi to Pat.
Do I just sit here now, or what's the deal? No, we're talking with Miss Castor. She's our guest. You know, when Nelson Rockefeller unfortunately passed away, it was in his manner.
I just don't like where this is headed.
No,
Do you know what I'm saying?
They didn't want to have the EMS people show up with Governor Rockefeller in bed with this woman.
Let's talk about the Doris Duke Foundation, who just gave us $5 million.
Until they propped him up in a chair. They stuck a copy of the Wall Street Journal on his lap, but they put the shoes on the wrong feet.
Don,
and the paper was upside down. The paper was upside down. And by the way, the thing I mentioned before, they couldn't get it down.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
I thought you'd like to know this
stuff. I don't want to know this stuff.
Why did you walk in here, the three of us? Why any woman would walk into this room? Say this ought to be fun. Let's go on the Imus show.
In the morning. Sports Radio 66 WFAN.
Make it record. Pierce had drums and letting him play them in the house. The Eagles were inducted into the Hall of Fame during a ceremony last night here in New York. Other inductees included the group Santana, the Mamas and the Papas, rockabilly legend Gene Benson, and Lloyd Price. Michelle Phillips of the Mamas and the Papas said she felt the presence of the late Cass Elliot during the ceremony.
I have personal knowledge that Cass is sitting on top of that big full moon tonight, looking down on these proceedings, wearing a size 6 Terry Mugler dress, and thanking you all very, very much.
Okay, Carlos Santana gave a bilingual acceptance speech to celebrate becoming the first Hispanic group inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
a sandwich table.
Except the ham sandwich table last night. This is unfortunate. It's terrible. The ABC News unveiled their news.
I used to stay out till the break of day. Oh, they didn't get it. It was high time I quit it. High
bald-headed Nazi. How's that?
A wrinkled-up old doofus.
What? Pardon me?
He said you're a wrinkled-up old doofus.
How would you like me to come in there and perspire on you? Huh?
Come on, bitch.
I don't think "come on, bitch" is the way you want to refer to your boss, do you?
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
What's that beeping sound anyway? you hear the beeping?
No.
Yeah, I do. Are you wearing a heart monitor or something?
No.
Batteries on your penis that play going with that?
Imus in the morning.
Shut up.
Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
All right, treat yourself to the great
Window now when you're playing this well. Everybody gonna see you, so you gotta go out and you gotta play hard every night. You can't be a dog.
That's it. Williams, 23 points, 14 boards. Break up the Nuggets. Get them out of here. Denver lost their 17th straight last night. Orlando 98, the Nuggets 84. Denver now 2-32. Closing in on the 76ers all-time record of 9-73. Well, you could nearly do as well with people who had never played basketball in their entire lives. Well, you'd be 0-34. 0-34. Yeah. That's right, off the street. Yeah. You, me, Warner, Lou, and Bernie. That's right. We could be 0-34. Yes, right. We could. And they're 2-32. I mean, what's the difference? And they're professional basketball players. That's right. Most of them getting millions of dollars. That's right. It's insanity. It is. Look at it as a one big midnight basketball program. At least they're all off the streets. Very good point. Warner continues. The Iran soccer team, who lost to Kazakhstan during the qualifying rounds of the World Cup, has offered the job to famous German coach 62-year-old Udo Lattek, who would coach Iran in the World Cup. Lattek said he was definitely interested, but first wanted to further examine the clause about being hung in effigy if they lose. With the Cowboys not in the Super Bowl this year, advertisers say they don't know about the Super Bowl ratings, but they are afraid that the ratings for America's Most Wanted may go down. Come on, Warner. Idiot. Can't be really. Come on. Can we expect a close Super Bowl this year? Maybe. Yeah. In the 13 straight wins by the NFC, there have been only 2 close games. Right. 89 Super Bowl and the 91 Super Bowl. Right. Green Bay is a 13.5-point favorite. It's too much. It's too much. You're right. You are absolutely right. Right. But who cares about the point spread? Nobody. But as long as you're pointing that out, that's too much. They're not going to lose by that much. That's it. I think, John Elway, that if things fall right, they do have a chance to win. Well, they always have a chance, Warner. Come on. Always have a chance. All right, Warner Wolf here, the Imus Morning Program. It's 15 till the hour. All right, here now, an emergency media watch. The Dean of Broadcast Journalist, Walter Cronkite, assesses the new look of ABC's World News Tonight with Peter Jennings. Walter?
And so we've seen it. The much-vaunted, highly touted news set intended to launch ABC's long climb back toward the summit of network evening news. The initial reaction from this old, revered, prostate-enlarged exponent of overkill? Who the hell designed this mess? Admiral Perry? The only colder look I can recall on an evening news set was when Dan Rather used to say, "Good night, Connie." Clearly, ABC needs a crash course in the psychology of color. The blues and grays of the news set just introduced by ABC evoke feelings of distance, inhospitability, the son of a bitch who just cut you off in traffic, the Queen of England, all that sort of thing. ABC's offering to the science of news settings looks so cold, I was wondering when elk were going to start running through it. Whether Rune Arlich would waddle across the viewfinder in a Frosty the Snowman suit. And what genius, one wonders, voted yes for the partial globe effect behind anchorman Peter Jennings as the program opens. The arc of the globe's rim appearing to pass right through his ears, as though there were nothing in between to impede its passage. Well, then again, as I think of it, perhaps that's calculated, because as I've long suspected, there really is nothing between Peter Jennings' ears to impede the passage of anything, including thought. One can understand, however, anchorman Jennings' comment that took note of the revamped furnishings and concluded with Peter allowing as how it would take him and the crew some time to get used to the new features. Indeed, the set had been described as an effort to create the look of something resembling a working newsroom. Yes, suddenly finding oneself in something resembling a working newsroom would take some getting used to if one were Peter Jennings. I can see his confusion. This is a typewriter, Peter. This is a wire machine. Here we have a pencil, and here we have an intern. Sorry, Peter, we forgot you already are conversant with those. Nor was warmth and friendliness added to the new set's debut when Jennings drooled an extravagant introduction to Sam Donaldson, praising the octogenarian's return to the White House beat. Then, switching to Cokie Roberts, standing in front of an out-of-focus photograph of the Capitol building, welcomed her back she had just failed an HIV test, leaving Ms. Roberts clearly miffed, which unfortunately caused her already protuberant eyes to look like they were sticking out on snail stalks, further exaggerating Cookie's perpetually startled expression. The visage of a girl who just sat on an oiled pool cue. Jesus, what a f***ing mess. For Media Watch, this is Walter Cronkite. Thank you and good night.
Half poison. Here's Slick with it. And the sedan job. Just what I'm gonna do, but there's nothing to say. Can we shoot down them YouTube planes? I don't wanna be a dupe or a sniveling wuss. Gotta send some troops to kick 'em in the nuts. You got a textbook case of megalomania. Making up lands out of Mesopotamia. Like a maniac in a black beret. Sedan driving with a goat in a negligee. Sedan job. Sedan job. Sedan job. Doing that crazy man job. I'm sick of all of this Iraq-limation. Tired of always bailing out the United Nations. Maybe I should just get that Nettie Louise to give a little shake to drink a Them Baghdad women just ain't my type. Looking like camel, smelling just as right. Think I'll fly more Albert over to Iraq to bite all of them sand monkeys on the back. Sedan job. Sedan job. Sedan job. Doing that crazy man job. Don't want us to observe all the weapons he amassed. Got a lot of nerve with that reserve and nerve gas. Think he got a skunk missile underneath his sheet. But Slick Willie's got a bigger one, so damn dead meat. Sedan job. Sedan job. Sedan job. Doing that crazy man job.
It is 10 minutes not only hour here in the Imus Morning Program. Happy birthday to Andy Rooney today. Oh, really? Yeah. And a couple other people. Well, anybody who I like. I like Andy Rooney, we know that. Nina Totenberg is her birthday, Chuck. Good. And Locke Fairclough, the senator of North Carolina, is his birthday. Remember the child evangelist Marjo Gordner? Certainly. Praise Jesus. It's his birthday.
It's the greatest education.
Are there more Republicans or Democrats in Santa Fe in that county?
The Green Party has really appealed to the Indian voters, the Native American voters.
My brother was a Democrat. He's now a Green Party member.
That's his favorite color.
All
Did you know that? By
Yes,
the way,
it is.
my brother's teeth are green.
And his
There you
underwear.
got it.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
Morning, Marilyn.
Good morning, Mr. Imus.
What's up, baby?
Why are you on this reporter, Roxanne?
Why wouldn't she call me for a reaction and run the mayor's comments by me?
I'm sure that'll be in tomorrow's paper.
I'm
sure
very
she will.
easy to get a hold of.
I tried the radio station and
Well, no, because our receptionist is eating Ben and Jerry's ice cream. Doesn't have time to answer the phone.
This is my chunky monkey.
Yeah.
I had my name on that.
In the morning. Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
Do you realize that no other brand has ever won more 4x4 awards than the legendary Jeep brand's right?
Then the last 6 minutes of the third quarter and the first 4 minutes of the fourth quarter would not have mattered just as much. In college basketball, the big game took place at College Park last night, where number one and previously undefeated North Carolina lost. First loss this season. Maryland beat them in overtime, 89-83. First loss for new Tar Heels coach Bill Guthridge, who had this to say after the game.
I don't think I coached as well as I should have. I hope that I can learn from some of my mistakes.
Right up there, Bill, just one loss. Even Dean Smith lost a few over his years down at Chapel Hill.
Well,
Australian Open tennis begins Monday. Seeding's announced. Men's top seed, who else? Petey Sampras.
You know, John Feinstein has a book out, I mean to interrupt you here, entitled A March to Madness, about a year in the ACC.
Probably a great book.
I'm sure it is, but who's going to... I mean, I like Feinstein. I think he's a wonderful writer. I was talking to his agent, the hideous Lobster Newberg, and she said that I said that Feinstein couldn't write, and that's just not true. I never said that.
He's a liar.
Yeah.
A bitter little liar.
She's a bitter little liar. But I did say that I can't imagine anybody be interested in this thing. Who would want to read it?
I would.
You would.
That's one.
You would want to read a book about a year in the Atlantic Coast College Basketball Conference.
Absolutely.
A book about Dean Smith and Mike Krzyzewski and the rest of those people.
I love college basketball, and you know what Feinstein is going to be a great book.
No, well, I mean...
It has a limited audience.
Yes, it has a limited audience. What are you laughing about?
Listen, how exciting the book sounds.
Yeah, I mean, come on here.
I'm sure he has stories of scandals with coaches, opposing cheerleaders, things like that.
I don't think so.
Probably pictures as well. There's some good juicy stuff in there.
He wants to be on the program with a book, but I mean,
Game players.
I think it's Alger his time.
Oh, come on.
At 10:30.
Call it
Players throwing games. There's a lot of stuff.
I don't think there's stuff in there about players throwing games or coaches having sex with cheerleaders.
Homosexuality. I mean, it's all in there. I can guarantee you that.
According to Lear, Dick Ebersol, the president of NBC Sports, has agreed to come on about an hour from now to talk about losing football at NBC, but I don't have any plans to beat up on Mr. Ebersol. I like him. And obviously I like NBC, but I just wonder what their thinking is about it. I wonder who made that decision. It isn't. I hope he doesn't try to tell me that they decided they couldn't make money with it, because that's not what it's about. He knows that.
Decided they were going to lose.
So if you're planning to do that, Mr. Ebersol,
Just don't bother.
just don't bother calling.
All right.
I want some straight answers out of you.
Sure.
Oh, well, we'll come up there and beat the hell out of you.
Sure.
So that's what we'll do. Won't we?
That's right. Yep.
What else going on?
Guess who's making a comeback? The Wizard of Oz, Ozzie Smith, reportedly may play again. St. Louis radio station saying the Gold Glove shortstop may come out of retirement, but not with the Cardinals, another National League team. Ozzie retired after the 96 season. He's currently 62 years old. Let's hope Ozzie does his backflips once again, winds up hospitalized after the first one.
Breaks his hip.
That's sports. I'm Mike Breen.
Right here now in the Imus in the Morning program, Scott Minnie. Scott,
So I'm backstage at the Fillmore with a couple of the guys from Sopwith Camo, Strawberry Alarm Clock, and the Chocolate Watch Band. And we're all tripping our brains out on some Lebanese blonde hash that Randy Sjohl had soaked in a bottle of Spinata mixed with antifreeze. And Eric Jacobson's trying to have a serious philosophical discussion with Phil Graham about Immanuel Kant's critique of practical reason. All the while Gracie Slick's doing a head bob on his...
Johnson.
What?
We're in here.
Oh, Scott So here with you, tripping down memory lane as the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame ceremonies are about to be televised on VH1. And among this year's inductees, the Gimp, Gene Vincent, the Fat Mamas and the Ugly Papas, and a brand new band that Imus just got hip to, Fleetwood Mac. Hey, Fats, I don't know how to break this to you, but the Beatles broke up, Elton John is a queer, and Pigpen died. To paraphrase Lindsey Buckingham, please start thinking about tomorrow. What is it with you and this obsession with the past?
Well,
Whittaker Chambers and Alger Hiss, the 68 Leather Elvis, Fleetwood Mac, the rest of the world's preparing for the next millennium, and you're just discovering the 70s.
You know, that Silver Springs is a pretty good song.
Yeah, especially back during the Carter administration when it was first recorded. I guess it's not your fault. The whole idea of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is just hideous in the first place. Cooperstown's got it right. It's only for legends. And one of the things that make those old baseball guys legends is they don't play anymore. Fleetwood Mac's got to start thinking about a Lynyrd Skynyrd farewell tour. I mean, Stevie Nicks, that chiffon and lace peasant look worked pretty well for you back then. But 20 years and 40 pounds later, you remind me of a freezer-wrapped rump roast. And speaking of meat, how does some fat, hygienically challenged hippie in a paisley muumuu qualify for inclusion in the Hall of Fame?
Well,
they got to put one of those asterisk deals next to Mama Cass Elliott's name like they do on Roger Maris's home run record. When you look down at the bottom, it says, threw her a bone because she choked on a ham sandwich.
Come on.
It's obviously one of those sentimental deals. Sonny Bono's been eligible since the late 80s, but I guarantee you the only reason he didn't get in this year was they announced the inductees before he took the ski trip. Hall of Fame should be synonymous with the phrase, hang it up. And speaking of that, aren't you in the Radio Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
You might want to think about going full-time with your brother's schmata business. Introduce another line of Joseph Abboud ties. The Silver Spring Collection. Got them blue-green buffaloes flashing.
We're talking with Laura Ingram, who's attacking me for some reason. There's no reason to.
By the way, you look like the NBC peacock this morning. You've become an MSNBC butt boy. You used to be funny. You used to be funny when you came in here and you made fun of the song is Don't Stop Thinking About Tomorrow.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
Look how defensive you are. This is pathetic.
A man who uses more hair care products than Paula Jones really has no standing. I go into your office. It's like the ozone layer right above your office is disintegrating.
Shut up.
Imus in the morning. Sports Radio 66 WFAN.
Today.
Yeah. Don't you shake my tree. No. If you don't like my pizza, don't you shake my tree. That's the way I was born. That's the way it's gonna be. God, I gotta get out of here.
Imus in the morning.
Just a bad day yesterday, baby. Woo! Good God.
Truth and nothing but the truth. So help me God. Southern lover had me some fun.
He was governor in May 91.
Met a girl, made my knees knock.
Dropped his pants, showed me his little rock.
In the nude, raunchy and crude. On that, that Arkansas night. Well, tell the court, every sordid detail.
Tell the court, did he make you inhale? The state trooper brought me upstairs.
She was super, man, what a pair.
Made a pass, wanted a kiss.
I pinched her ass, told her to kiss this.
Oh my dude, she was so rude. On that, that Arkansas night. Tell the court, did you two both embrace?
Tell the court, did she have to use mace?
He's impulsive, a hideous brute.
She's repulsive, how'd I think she was cute?
I've been dissed throughout my crusade.
I'll tell you this, I didn't get laid.
Not a prude, but I know what's lewd. On that, that Arkansas night. Tell the court, is it just politics?
Tell the court, can she ID your penis?
He made an offer, but Susan said no.
Didn't offer, though she was a ho-ho-ho.
Legal counsel, they took a hike.
She turned me down, she's probably a dyke.
Now you're screwed, 'cause you're being sued for that, Imus in the morning.
This is WFAN in New York. It's time for the news, and here with that, it's Chuck McCord.
Get out of my mind. I love for you is way out of line. Let her run, girl. You're much too young, girl.
Imus in the morning.
Losers. Not Andy. Hello, Marv Rooney here with the play-by-play. Third and long. I mean really long. Throwing out of his own end zone. There's the snap, and he's sacked. GE Chairman Jack Welch is viciously slung to the turf by, well, everybody, I guess. Let's see who's in there. Michael Jordan of CBS has an elbow in Jack's teeth. There's ESPN's Steve Bornstein with his heel on Jack's Adam's apple. That's gotta hurt. There's Disney's Michael Eisner with both knees planted squarely in Mr. Welch's groin. Ouch. Have you been following this larger-than-God football affair? The National Football League, dear viewer, has just pushed its TV revenue to a figure that is literally larger than the gross national product of darn near any third-world country you care to name, and pushed Jack Welch's National Broadcasting Company over a cliff. You talk about a costly turnover. Everybody wins. I
I mean, we've been in a perpetual orgy here at CBS since the news came out. We're back in the gridiron picture. Everybody wins with one enormous exception, NBC, which now seems to stand for nothing but chumps. Oh, sure, NBC sports president Dick Ebersol has been calling up anybody who'll listen to say, well, we still have the Olympics and basketball and golf. Great. Yeah. CBS gets the Denver Broncos, New York Jets, Pittsburgh Steelers, and the rest. Ebersol still has synchronized swimming, Latrell Sprewell, Fuzzy Zeller, and choking Greg Norman. Beautiful. Goodbye, Jerry Seinfeld. Goodbye, Jerry Rice. Yeah. Could there be a bigger loser of the week? Well, yes. I mean, we still have the spectacle of Saturday to jot down in our day planners, I think, when Bill Clinton will be led out of the White House to go across the street to his lawyer's office to sit down and be asked if he really did ask Paula Corbin Jones to kiss his penis. Come on. There's some soaring presidential history, eh? This loser could cure cancer this afternoon, and all he'd be remembered for is his contribution to our national fellatio ratio. But to return the message, and the National Day of Gloating here at CBS, don't you wonder what sugar plums are dancing beneath the thinning hair of Pat O'Brien, formerly of CBS Sports? Pat left us not too long ago, you may remember, to become Giselle Fernandez's co-host. That's tabloid talk for Butt Boy at Access Hollywood, and lengthy cerebral interviews with, well, Carrot Top and Fran Drescher. Wonderful timing, Pat. I mean, at least Sonny Bono didn't know what hit him. Shut up. Oh, and about NBC's fortunes of late, I don't know about you, but startling to me how much a peacock, with all its feathers plucked, looks exactly like a turkey.
Well, O'Brien, CBS Sports is here, and he's hosting the tennis tournament for CBS Sports.
I'm hosting the whole event.
And
Yeah, but
Hansen.
at the end of the day, as we say in Hollywood.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's Hanselman. Yeah, I mean...
Oh, I made a mistake. You've never made a mistake.
No, I never doubled, though.
Moving your hair up like that might have been one mistake.
I don't think I'd go there on the hair stuff, man.
My hair sucks. Really? My hair sucks. And your hair sucks. Your hair really sucks. You look like one of Alabama or something.
If your radio sucks in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the Morning.
I'm so great, you can't believe it.
Well, no, you're not.
My grandmother died, though.
That I'm sorry to hear. I am sorry to hear that.
98. Died in her sleep.
Oh, there ain't no better way to go. Boy, no kidding.
Well, good for her. Yeah. But the other 4 passengers in the car were complete.
What is the matter with you? No.
In the morning. Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
Well, it is Friday, unless you're...
And now, Imus in the Morning, 2020 Sports with Mark Breen. Go, baby.
Here's the silence howling, catch his angels as they fall, and the all-time winner has got him by the balls.
Jethro Tull, music for the ages. Good morning. Mike Breen with Sports. Ian Anderson and friends with a riff of Locomotive Breath from the hit album Aqualung. And this sportscast sponsored by your New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut Volvo dealers. While rock fans getting excited about the Rolling Stones tour, and other idiots into Fleetwood Mac, it's Tull that has passed the test of time.
Snot's running down his nose.
Tull fans will be fine. Stay strong. As Jethro Tull, better than ever. And perhaps a tour will come up for them as well.
Oh, yeah, I can see that.
Strong performance from the Seattle Supersonics last night. They whooped up on the Miami Heat. An 18-point margin of victory. Bad night for Alonzo Mourning. And afterwards, Zoe was feeling low.
We didn't make an effort like we should have to really contest those shots. You know, we left them wide open. You know, when we did double, the rotations were slow, and we didn't rotate fast enough. And I myself, you know, I admit a couple of times I could have closed harder.
Wow. Confiscate his underwear.
Yeah, what was that? Zoe. Alonzo Mourning. Zoe on no dose.
I kind of like him, though, but...
Well, he was very thoughtful. He's introspective there.
At least he's answering the questions.
Yeah.
He's emotional.
No.
Fiery.
Person.
That's exactly right. Beating up his wife, girlfriend.
There you go.
Stabbing. What's not to like? Walking around with a gun, snorting cocaine.
Punching out coaches.
Yeah. Choking his coach.
A road win for the L.A. Clippers. They beat the New Jersey Nets 119-116. Our NBA reporter Billy Taylor was there and filed this report.
There was very little defense in this contest covering the Nets. I'm Billy Taylor.
Thank you, Billy.
Oh, that's great. That's just great. I hope you're proud of yourself.
I am
Let's
proud of
humiliate another African-American on the Imus and William program.
That's the way you want to look at it?
That's just great.
Make him appear the fool.
Yes.
There you go.
Make him appear the Uncle Tom fool. Here on the Imus in the morning program. Oh, that's just great.
Terrific.
I hope you're proud of yourself.
How about them 76ers? Beat the Chicago Bulls and Michael Airhog Jordan. But Sixers forward Theo Ratliff did not get carried away with this victory.
We're not going to, go all out and celebrate and have a party and different things of that nature because we beat the Bulls.
I'm not going to go out and party to have the party right there in their hotel room.
Did he say having 40s?
No. I
No.
don't think so.
He didn't?
No, he didn't.
Did he said party?
Yeah.
Party. Okay.
Yeah. Right.
What about 40 ounces? I thought you were talking about having 40. So I thought he said, let me hear it again.
Okay.
Here we go. 18
We're not going to, go all out and celebrate and have a party and different things of that nature because we beat the Bulls.
Close. I think he did say.
No, not.
Party.
Well, I think kind of was porty, kind of like that.
Smooth job engineering that, Lou. Thanks. Great job.
How are your teeth? Latrell Sprewell has run afoul of the law. Happened the other day. He's given a citation for violating a curfew at a park in California. The suspended Golden State Warrior sitting in his parked truck at 4 o'clock in the morning. Police say the park is closed from 10 until 5 because there's nothing to do in the park at night. Apparently Sprewell had something to do.
Yeah.
But all he received was the citation. If he pays the fine, everything's okay.
Maybe this time he was choking his chicken. Here's Wendy from Lebanon, New Hampshire. Good morning, Wendy.
Good morning, Ivan. How are you?
I'm all right, baby. How you doing?
Good, thanks. Hey, I like your John Glenn joke.
Pardon me?
I like the John Glenn joke.
Yeah, I got that from John Gibson on MSNBC. How about
I
that?
remember that. I'm a bartender. I'll be spreading that around for you.
Some listener somebody emailed Gibson with that joke.
Oh, yeah, they go around like wildfire. My husband's a postal worker. They do that stuff over there, too. They do other things, but they spread good jokes around, too.
How's your life working out, baby?
Pretty good, thanks. Hey, I missed your autograph in July.
Oh, darn God.
I thought I had it covered. My mom lives, like, right up the road.
Loser alert. Lose all that and loser alert.
Gave her the dates, said, they're going to be there, help me out.
Loser. What do you want?
Well, she's supposed to go to Mohegan Sun. Are you ever at Mohegan Sun, personally?
Every weekend.
Every weekend?
Yep. I'm a greeter at Mohegan Sun.
Well,
hey, bro, come on in, rolling bone.
Other casino up
You
the
can
road.
catch me at the front door, win big wampum, Interstate 395, exit 79A,
She's there.
4-lane highway. Let me
too.
finish.
Just a minute, ma'am.
4-lane highway all the way.
Now she's really in trouble. If you're
I'm
that
in
often.
I'm in at the front door. Mohegan Sun said, come on in, win big wampum.
That's it. She's in trouble.
What do you want?
I want to know about Fred's dog.
What about him?
His German Shepherd.
Oh, okay.
Is it a young dog, an old dog?
3 years old.
3 years old. You looking to have any fun in about a year with a female dog?
Here's my brother's policy on breeding his dog. You have to agree to let Fred breed you.
You and Brock are completely confused. We are confused. You are the one that's confused. We spent the whole day today wrecking the porch over at 4565 Amsterdam Avenue. 4565 Amsterdam Avenue? That's fine. Well, thank you, sir. That's just great. We thought it was a nice job, yeah. The porch you were supposed to wreck was in this Riverside drive.
Well, since I was the governor, my life's been a living hell. Showed Paula Jones my waiter at the Excelsior Hotel, but well, she made my knees knock, baby. She made my knees knock. Was such a tease, I unzipped my fly. Hands around my ankles, I said, how about a kiss? Could be a good career move, babe. How about you move on this? But Paula, she just didn't do it, baby. I guess that I blew it. Now I gotta eat some humble pie. When I make my deposition, oh, what a tale I'll tell.
makes her allegations, baby, about sexual relations. Do what I do best, I'll tell a lie. But she says that she can prove it, about how she was harassed. Can pick my pecker out without a magnifying glass. Well, baby, her testimony about my hey-roni baloney, it could have poked her in the eye. Take you to school now. So don't go show your penis to a woman you don't know well. But if you ever do, you better hope she doesn't tell, unless you're sure the characteristics of your Excalibur dipstick ain't something she'll identify.
Well, it'll be tomorrow morning at around 10 o'clock Eastern Time on MSNBC, CNN.